Okay, so now I've got this side sorted. I'm just going to go through and draw my horizontal lines in to create the internal walls along here, and then delete the geometry I don't need. So let's have a look. Here's my technique of move, control, and then bring this down a certain distance. Now I don't think there's a dimension on this. No, there's not. So I'm just going to have to go by eye. And then I can use my standard 90mm dimension, control 90. All right, starting, and I can delete some geometry later. All right. All right, as you can see, I'm just going to work my way through and I'll come back in a second. Okay, so I've gone through and done it over here. So some standard things, we mentioned doors and wall thickness. That's really the main important things. A lot of this has had to be done by eye because there simply is not a dimension, for example, of the depth of that. So I'm just going to work through and delete the lines that I need to leave only my internal walls. Okay, so all right, so they're looking all right. Just one thing I'm going to correct here on my drawing, and that is, even though there's doors here, I do want to draw in the geometry for that. And that includes internal doors as well. So right, so nearly there. Okay, so all doors have the geometry drawn in, and you'll see why a little bit later in the tutorial. All right, so now I've got my internal walls, external walls drawn in, and the next thing we're going to look at is, I guess, floor coverings. And so where do we picture us needing different floor coverings? So a bedroom possibly, whether you want carpet or a different floor surface, your wet areas like your bathrooms probably need tiles, your main living areas, depends on what floor you want to have there. So we need to sort of have our rooms separated, or the floor on our rooms separated and drawn in. Now looking at my floors right now, I'm probably actually pretty happy because there are lines separating each of my rooms that I want separated. So for example, if I wanted this floor to be a different surface to that floor, then yes, maybe I would need a line across here to separate it. But I'm thinking for what I want, the rooms that I want different floor coverings on are separated. So the next thing we're going to look at doing is we've essentially drawn our floor plan using our JPEG, and we now want to group and tag everything in here. So what I might do now is go back to my edit and unhide everything. All right, and you can see the JPEG has served its purpose, and now I can start to group and tag. Well, actually, not tag. I'm just going to start to group everything. So we'll worry about tags a little bit later on. So to group things, what I'm going to do is just maybe I'll focus on external walls to start with. All right. So I'll go double click on that and right click group. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is group the next item. Now, if I double click on that, G is also a shortcut for that. So I'm just going to work my way around the exterior walls and double click on everything and group it. So as you can see, I'm just doing every single bit of geometry here. Right, I'll keep going around and doing this to my external walls. Then I'm going to do it to my internal walls, and I'll come back. Now, if I zoom in and click on any wall, if I've grouped it correctly, you should see the blue outline from a single click. The whole outline that pops up, and I can tell that. Oh, see, for example, there, not grouped. So double click G for group, and not grouped. So just worth going around and just double checking everything and seeing if you find any things like I did just there. Okay, so for here, if I click on this, double click G. Now I haven't done floors yet, so I'm not worried about that. All right, here, double click G. So there's a few things I missed out. Okay. All right, so there's one. Okay, so as you work your way around, just double click and see if you get any appearing like, I think I left one more here off as an example, like that. All right, so our external walls and internal walls should all be grouped, and you can just double check on that. Now the next thing we're going to group is our floors. So a bit quicker this time, so I'm just going to double click G, double click G, double click G, and work my way around. All right, so if I click on any floor, so that one there didn't show, so double click G. All right, now all the floors are grouped. So now we've grouped everything, we're going to look at tagging everything now. So I'm just going to try and see if I can hide this JPEG image. Where are we? There we go. Now, under tags over here, I'm just going to create a few tags. Floor and interior walls and exterior walls. All right, and we're going to work our way around and tag these items. So first of all, I'm just going to go maybe my exterior walls. All right, and a couple of ways you can do this. If I hold down Control, I think it's probably the quickest way. Then I can slowly work my way around, and you'll notice I'm just doing it for literally everything along this external wall. If there's a window there, I'm still doing it. All right, I'll just keep working my way around and show you the end result. I'm going to go to Entity Info over here, and I want to tag these under exterior walls. All right, next I'm going to do the same thing with my interior walls. Okay, so this is what mine looks like. I've gone over to Entity Info, and I'm going to go interior walls. All right, now the last thing I'm going to work my way around and tag is just the floor. Okay, so I've clicked on the floors and I'm going to go floor. All right, so the true test will now be, if I go to my tags here and start turning them off, if I turn them all off, there should be nothing on my screen. So I can see that's my internal walls, exterior walls, and my floor. So that has worked pretty well for me, so that's something you need to do. The next thing we're going to look at is turning this 2D floor plan into a 3D object in the next tutorial.